So I remember that there was a time when my dad used to sit in this exact same spot. One day out of the week, he used to call a lot of, like, randomly call his distant relatives, some distant friends, school friends, college friends, work colleagues. And I used to hate that part for the majority of it, because I knew what used to come next. The next part was, yeah, talk to my son. And I remember that as a kid as well, I used to keep running around the house saying that, I don't want to talk. What am I going to talk to these people? And I never really understood why he used to do that. I didn't really understand the need why he would want to spend his weekly off calling these people. It just used to make no sense to me at all. I remember he used to, ask them about how things were in their life. He used to check in on their health, their family situations, their kids, and all of that. And he used to that process used to make him so much happy. Like, he used to be so much energized for it. And for the socially awkward, introverted person that I was or still am, this was a really alien concept. Well, then in 2021, he got diagnosed with cancer, and he stopped doing that. He became very distant, right? And rightly so, because cancer changes you both physically and mentally. So he stopped doing that, and there was a point where I used to feel that now that my dad is not calling all these people, where are they? Where are they when he needs them the most? Like, I don't see the phone call buzzing on a Tuesday evening, right? But then, like, a year of my dad battling his cancer, a year after that, he passed away. And I remember very vividly that I was bringing him home from the hospital. Like, I was bringing his body to my home. And as we were arriving, I could see a huge crowd around my house. A lot of these people were unrecognizable. I didn't even know who these people were. And a lot of these people were trying to hug me, they were trying to console me, comfort me. Everyone was saying that, let it out, cry, it's okay, all of these things. We got done with the funeral, and a couple of days later, people were spending half a day of travel to come to my house, to come to our house, to meet, to console and comfort me and my mom, our family. And like, some of these people were legit taking leaves from their office, their busy schedules, and coming to meet us. They were traveling all the way from Goa and other parts of the state and stuff. And there was something oddly comforting when these people used to say, "You look so much like your dad." I remember very fondly that there's this one statement that almost everyone used to say, which was, in Marathi they used to say, "Ramakant ne mansa japun thevli," which is basically that your dad really maintained those relationships well. Many of these people, I had no clue who they were, but all of them were consistently trying to tell me that if you need any help, we are here for you. And that was such a beautiful human experience that an introvert, or a rather selfish individual that I am, could not let go unnoticed. I had to acknowledge that this is something incredibly beautiful about humans. So in recent times, I feel like I've also been falling prey to this idea of hyperabundance, right? Like, so you see people talk about that there are 8 fucking billion people on this planet, and you don't need to wait for that one person and this and that, which is true. I mean, I get it. It's not worth ruining your sleep over 1 or 2 people in this world, right? But I think if taken out of context, this idea of abundance is going to leave you pretty alone and dried up, frankly. क्योंकि होता है ऐसा कि you might think that there are as many people as you want in this world, and you can reach out, and the internet particularly can pose this delusion of you can find as many good people as you want. You can just reach out to anyone in just one click. And that is true, but another aspect to that is compatibility and actually finding good people. There might be a lot of good people in this world, but very few of them might be truly compatible with you. So if you really have friends who are compatible with you, जिसके साथ तुम्हें चीज़ें effortless लगती है, I think you should really cherish that instead of being in that mindset कि yeah, it's okay if that friend doesn't text, it's okay if they don't call, if it's okay if they move to some other country and they don't call me or they don't text me. I can find a new person. Yeah, क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है actually, especially when you go through life and when you go through difficult times, you realize that just having that comfort of so many people who truly mean it when they say that they care for you, it's such a heartwarming feeling within itself. And you can be an introvert, you can be an extrovert, this feeling is constant. This part of the human experience is the warmth of it. It's so beautiful. And I'm not trying to be preachy over here. This has just been a very simple but a very late realization for me as well personally, that I've spent a good chunk of the last few years trying to let go people who, I don't know, it's like half of the times it's not even like something goes wrong in a particular relationship or a particular friendship. It's just that we get bored. It's just that we feel that things aren't working out, and then we just, like, no one texts, no one calls, and then we move on to the next person in line. It's kind of a very shitty way of living life. It's just like hopping from one thing to another, and I believe it is one of those things that has personally made my life less meaningful, slightly. There is obviously all sorts of buzz around the fact that what is meant for you will come back to you, and then real friendships are those that don't require any efforts, the real friendships are those where you don't talk to each other for a year, and then suddenly when you meet it's like nothing changed. Sure, I understand that, but that is for very specific friends. What I've been also realizing is, to maintain greater parts of your circles, of your relationships, or to maintain human contact, you need to put in the efforts. You need to call them once in a while. You need to ask them how they're doing and try to help them as much as you can. Not with the expectation that they might do something for you in return, but just the joy that it gives, just the comfort that being around humans provides. And I have no clue how I'm going to do that, because for majority of my life I've never done something like this. But the part where everyone said that you really look like your dad, that part really got to me, and it feels like maybe I can pick one or two good habits from him as well, this being one of them.